The roller coaster life of Britney Spears in 2008 can be summed up by two Rolling Stone magazine covers. On February 21st, it was Britney Spears, Inside an American Tragedy. And on the latest issue, Yes, She Can, Britney Returns. Jenny Ellisque wrote the cover story. Jenny, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Nice to see her looking like the old Britney, for sure.
Oh, yeah, she looks fantastic.
You have interviewed her several times in the past, but this time a little bit different. How so?
The primary difference was just that it was a very heavily managed process. In the past, I had a lot more time and to spend with her, and occasions where we were alone together, and just more candid conversations. This time, there were a lot of restrictions and hoops to jump through to get to her.
And why the restrictions?
It was never entirely clear to me why, although I was told that it was largely to do with this conservatorship that her father has had over her since early this year.
Yeah, her dad now has tremendous control over her. You weren't allowed to ask specific questions about that, but what was the sense you got about how Britney feels about her dad's control? Because he basically controls everything in her life.
Unfortunately, I couldn't actually ask her explicitly, like, how do you feel about all this? And everybody sort of assumes, well, she looks like she's doing great, she's smiling on our cover, she's smiling, and she does, in fact, look fantastic. But there is a sense that there's something a little bit more muted about her. As I say in the story, she's sort of like Britney Spears with the volume turned way down. Compared to my previous encounters with her, she seemed more remote, more guarded, which was not surprising given that it had been set up that they'd have to see my questions ahead of time, that her manager would have to be in the room at the time, so it wasn't a very natural environment for an interview.
Did she seem sad to you? You say remote, but...
She didn't, no.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she seemed sad, no.
Yeah.
She seemed to be doing really well. I mean, she seemed stable, she was lucid, and she remembered me from our previous encounter. I mean, it was lovely to see her again, and I was impressed by how well she seems to be doing given how recently she went through all these troubles.
She now has the opportunity to see her children on a regular basis, something she didn't have before. She talked about the kids. She also talked about her ex-husband, and not in the most loving way.
Yeah, it was sort of a roundabout topic, because as you might imagine, that was one of the topics that we weren't officially supposed to talk about, and she kind of snuck it in there when I was asking her how motherhood has differed from what she expected, and she said, well, I didn't expect my husband was going to leave me, and and it kind of goes from there into, I don't think she was deliberately trying to talk about it, but clearly in that moment she couldn't resist.
Yeah, she said her kids had picked up some bad words.
Yes,
they didn't come from her.
They didn't come from her, she said.
Did you get the sense, Jenny, talking with her, even in the limited amount of time that you had, that she can make a successful comeback?
Of course, I do believe she can make a successful comeback, because at the end of the day, as mysterious to some people as the public's fascination with Britney Spears might be, it is based on the talent that she has and something just tremendously captivating about her as a public persona, and I think that remains. Whatever else is going on, that remains. So I have no doubt that this album she's putting out will be tremendously successful.
All right, Jenny Ellisque, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the Rolling Stone magazine featuring Britney Spears hits newsstands this Friday.